All right, good afternoon, traders. Today it's August 5th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That is the day trading service for the hit and run candlesticks. Thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody hanging out today. Hope you all made some profits. Kind of a tough day. Couldn't get a trend to stick all day. All it did was kind of chomp around VWAP. That's it. Not much going on there. Let's take a peek at the charts. Let's take a peek at how I made over 7K today. So let's look at the P&L. All right, first product I traded was SPY 630 calls, 0 DTE. Again, during the uptrends, buying the lows, selling the highs. Okay, you can see the green dots, the blue dots are the buys, the red dots are the sells. Okay. On the, again, more over here. Okay, had a 10-minute downtrend there, had a 10-minute uptrend all the way up to VWAP, couldn't stick up there, so then we had a 10-minute downtrend under VWAP right there, kind of showing us, I gotta say, it looks like a head and shoulders. Looks like puts are going to be good for tomorrow or maybe later this week. So price action got underneath, kind of traded right along the same consolidation that we had from yesterday. A little bit under it, a little bit on top of it, and then back under it right here. So I gotta say, tomorrow looks bearish down to probably 620. That's what it looks like to me. All right, unless something changes, I don't know. I do see many higher lows all through here. Not much. This one dug out a equal low. You got 3 equal lows right here. So we'll see what happens. On the other one, okay, 0 DTE 635 calls. Again, bought some of those at the beginning. Looked like we got an uptrend, and then it just got buried. All right, price came down, and just had to buy the lows and sell the peaks up here. On that one, was lucky to get out of that with any profit at all. 1 DTE 635 calls, 515 on those. Again, during the uptrend, buying the dips and selling the peaks of those candles right there. Okay, that's 515, 1 DTE call. 625 puts, 0 DTEs, $103 there. Had the 10-minute downtrend, so traded that with the candles 10-minute downtrend. Again, buying the lows of the candles and selling the highs of those candles. $31 on the 620 puts. Again, during the downtrend, buying the lows and selling the highs. And then on the 3 days till expiration, 620 puts. You can see buying the lows and selling the highs into there. And then about 20 more right about there, and then price decided to rally to the upside. So those will come in handy tomorrow if price head and shoulders pattern holds true and we wind up coming down to 620. On the other side, we made on some Qs. It's got 952 on some Qs, and that was this product right here. Qs, those were calls, okay? Buying the lows down here and selling back up into the rally up there, okay? So that's it on those. Price action is buying the calls right here. Price pulled down, come back up, and then I sold into the highs up there. So that was the Qs. All right, let's take a look at the charts, see what they gave us. Again, you can see for the most part on Qs, spent the day underneath VWAP. SPY closing the day with a 10-minute downtrend, spent very little of the time over VWAP. So this is bearish, all right? As opposed to yesterday, we spent most of our day over VWAP, and today we spent most of our day under VWAP, okay? Again, couldn't get a trend going. Everything was just kind of whippy and wild. 2-hour chart, okay? On the 2-hour chart, we got ourselves back into it. 2-hour downtrend. We had a 10-minute, let's go to the game plan. back into a 2-hour downtrend. We had at the beginning of the day, it's looking close to a 2-hour uptrend. Didn't last long. 2-hour. Let's try this again. Okay, so we had a 2-hour uptrend, and into the close we got a bearish cross. All right, this is the 2-hour chart. So we started the day, we had a 2-hour uptrend, and it just couldn't hold it. All right, on the daily chart, we got right here price action. Again, higher low, higher high, closing under a bearish trap, under the 17 EMA, looking bearish going into tomorrow, closing underneath the midpoint of the quad lines. Daily chart is still in an uptrend. We have not taken out this low. Weekly chart is still in an uptrend. We have not taken out this low. Monthly chart still in an uptrend. We have not taken out this low. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ on the 10-minute chart is a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. 2-hour, we have a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. Daily chart, we have a daily uptrend but not moving up. All right. Still in that uptrend. We have to take out this low in order to negate the uptrend down here. Weekly chart, weekly uptrend still intact. Monthly uptrend still intact. Okay, so there's QQQ. Let's take a look at IWM. On the daily chart for today's candle, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. Oh, no, excuse me, over a bearish trap and over the 17 EMA. Still in a downtrend. All right, they took out this low right here. They have to take out this high in order to negate the downtrend. In the upper third, so they're now bullish again. Okay, closing up in the upper third, so that's bullish again. Could be a mixed day tomorrow, looking like we're showing a head and shoulders pattern on the 10-minute chart, and yet IWM has found its way back into the bullish territory. So we'll see what happens. There's IWM on the daily chart. Now bullish again and still in a downtrend until it takes out that high. Diamond Dow, bullish up in quadrant 4, still in a downtrend until it takes out that high. Here's the low they took out, and we made a lower low. Take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU put in an outside day, higher high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Up there, still up there in quadrant 4, that's bullish, and still in a downtrend. All right, they have to take out this high in order to negate the downtrend. All right, let's take a look at our technicals, T2122. Well, we found our way back here yesterday into the buyer's chop zone. Well, today we came down to the seller's chop zone, made an appearance, and then we hung out for the rest of the day inside of the buyer's chop zone, making a lower high here. On the T2122, we have an inverted head and shoulders, this being the head. That's a bullish head and shoulders pattern. This being the head, this being the left shoulder, this being the right shoulder. Okay, on the SPY, if we go back over here to the SPY on the 10-minute chart, you can see we have a bearish head and shoulders, right shoulder, left shoulder, head right there. We have a bearish pattern right there, head and shoulders on the 10-minute on the SPY. But on the 15-minute T2122, we got the bullish, inverted, bullish head and shoulders right there. Let's take a look at T2123. Bullish gap up this morning, filled by the bears. So I guess the bulls are losing some strength. They were looking good yesterday on SPY, but so-so here on T2123. They never got to fill the gap up there. Price action closing over yesterday's close. That's great for T2123. Are they making higher highs? That's the question. And yeah, we have a high here and a higher high right there. So they are still in an uptrend, T2123. Okay, so back to an uptrend here on the 15-minute chart. 3-bar chart, okay, still up over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. Still up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. Still up over those prior all-time highs. That's bullish. Kind of showing us on the bigger time frame a bear flag. All right, we'll see if they're going to make another move to the downside again later this week, or what's going to happen. So there's T2123. We do have a higher low. They're still in an uptrend, and they're still bullish up here in quadrant 4. Let's take a look at FNGU. And FNGU had 3 candles to buy this morning, and after the 3 buy candles of tagging the 200 SMA, they sold off for the rest of the day. You can see they spent all of their time underneath the brown VWAP line. And did they fill that bearish gap, that bullish gap? No, they did not fill the bullish gap. But all in all, if we look at this from this perspective, back here, we have still a bull flag and consolidation over prior consolidation. It's starting to get a little sloppy now. Okay, so you got to move up and then over to the right. Okay, we're also showing a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern on this FNGU, with this being our head and our right shoulder showing up right here, and our left shoulder showing up right there. So we'll see what happens with FNGU. All right, still struggling to make it back over that 200 SMA. They are still holding the higher ground up here. Okay, so if you look at it again, they're up and over to the right. That's still a hold, but looking like a failed breakout right here. All right, so looking like a failed launch. All right, and they're back here at the base. If they break this base right through here, well, we're going to come down and test the top of this base, and most likely the support that lies between the prior base over here and this base right there. So breaking through here, probably coming down to support. All right, we'll see what happens. That's FNGU on the 15-minute chart. Okay, we'll look at the economic numbers because we didn't look at them this morning. And we want, let's take this one. Okay, dollar. You can see dollar's still in the uptrend. Got a higher low and a higher high. So dollar's still in an uptrend. Still showing us a bear flag. Price action on this. Okay, again, down and over to the right. Okay, still has not made it up over minor resistance, which is the bottoms of these valleys right through here. Okay, so it has not made it up over minor resistance yet. So still showing us a bear flag and in an uptrend because they made a higher low and a higher high. Okay, and we'll take a look at earnings calendar. And let's see what we got here. For today, we got Advanced Micro Device going to report after the close. Caterpillar reported this morning. Amgen and Arista Networks report after the close. AMD graphics right there, 286 billion. Amgen, 162 billion. Arista Networks, 151 billion. Eaton Corporation reported this morning, 150 billion. Pfizer reported 133 billion. Duke Energy, 96 billion. Tomorrow we've got Novo Nordisk, 217 billion in the morning. McDonald's in the morning, 217, 214 for Walt Disney in the morning. Uber Technologies, 184 billion in the morning, almost $1 trillion right there between those. Shopify, 162 billion. They report tomorrow morning. Sony, still looking for the P&L. AppLovin, 133 billion. DoorDash, 109 billion. Brookfield Assets, 98 billion. All right, that's for today and tomorrow. What do we got for Thursday? Eli Lilly, that could be a market mover. $728 billion right there. Toyota's still looking for the P&L. Friday, we've got just some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets as far as the economic calendar goes. This morning we had, international trade goods and services came out at 8:30. I didn't see much change there. I'll have to take a look at it one more time. Tomorrow morning we've got MBA mortgage applications, at 7, petroleum report at 10:30, and basically a really light Wednesday as far as Wednesdays go. On Thursday, jobless claims at 8:30, productivity costs 8:30, and a gas report at 10:30, and then that's it. You can see it's a really light week as far as economic data goes and as far as earnings go. And it doesn't look like they want to crank it up. We're still bullish up here. I mean, we're up over 230, 630 today for a little bit of time. Kind of lost it. Really like to see us start moving back up into 640 area. Max pain for today was 629. I think we definitely hit that, and the put-to-call ratio was 1.2. All right, so that's it for today. All right. We'll see you guys all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. I got a couple of coaching sessions tonight, and we'll see what happens. And Tech says, SPY 2-day, 10-minute with overnight head and shoulders projects down to 623.66. Thank you for sharing that, Tex. All right, so we'll see what happens. So Tex says... right here with the overnight, he says on the 10-minute chart, okay, here's our 10-minute chart, projects down to 623. So we're at 628. Oh, look at this, kind of ripping right now. That's got to be AMD right there, pushing that back up. Who knows, AMD could probably bring us right back up to where we closed yesterday. We'll see what happens. All right, traders, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. I wish we had a better day. We did have a 10-minute downtrend right there, which kind of sucked because this was all of the bullishness yesterday, and all it did was pull all the way back to the base right here. So it's like the bulls were here yesterday, and they did not show up to protect it today. We got back up over VWAP, and then another 10-minute downtrend under VWAP again. So kind of a crappy day. Go up and down, kind of going up and giving it up. So you go up, you give it up. That's just neutral. All right, maybe we can get something going tomorrow with AMD reporting. We'll see what happens. All right, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thanks for everything. All right. And we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thank you.